Today we're going to look at building a simple Cocoa application in Xcode 3. So we're going to start up Xcode and get rid of this and go to File, New Project, and then we'll start a new Cocoa application and give it a name, Simple Calc, and it will create our project for us. And we will have a main menu.nib file, and this is where the interface for our application will be stored. So we're going to open that up and start to build the interface. Now we're going to need some buttons, so go under Library, Cocoa, Application, under there. Views and Cells, it's under. Go to Buttons, and we're going to need 2 buttons. That. And we'll name those buttons Add 3 and Subtract 3. Okay. And we are going to need a text box, which is under Inputs and Values. And there is our text box. Alright. I'm going to move these up a little and shrink this. There we go. Now, one thing to note is that despite the fact that you already named your project, Interface Builder doesn't apply that to the menu. So you have to go and change all of these manually, like this. Calc, and then change the ones in here. And then this one, actually, probably easier. Cut it, paste it, and paste it again. Okay, now that our menu is fixed, we can begin to make links. Now, how Cocoa and Objective-C work is that you create links to a controller, which is what we're going to create now. So go under Objects and Controllers, under Controllers, and we will make that there. Now, we need the inspector, and with the inspector we're going to create actions and create a new class called App Controller, and then I'll name this for us. Now, we're going to need 2 actions and an outlet. Now, we're going to need an action for each button, because what happens is when you click a button, the button will be linked to this controller, and all of the code will be contained in the controller. So when you click the button says to the controller, do this, and then the controller does that. And we need an outlet so the controller can talk back to the text box. So we're going to click on the controller and create our actions. Make one add 3 and one subtract 3. And then our outlet, which I'm just going to call text box 1. Okay. Now we need to link these, so we're going to hold down the control key and just drag the line from the buttons to the app controllers and pick which one to link it to. Link subtract to subtract and add to add. And then we're going to do the same thing with the control button and drag a line from app controller to the text field and link that to the outbox, the text box. Now this is where it differs a bit from the Xcode 2, in that Interface Builder no longer does a good job of writing the class files for this by itself. So we're going to use Xcode to do that. I'm going to File, New File, and scroll down, and we're going to need an Objective-C class. Next, we'll name it App Controller just for consistency. You could probably name it anything you want, but it's easier this way. Close that, and now we're going to let Interface Builder write the code for these actions and outlets. So we're going to File, Write Class Files, and make sure you stick it in the actual applications project folder. Save there and replace the ones that Xcode made. Alright, so now this is linked to these files in here, And if you open it up, you see Interface Builder wrote all this nice code for us, so we don't have to write it ourselves. So now we're going to write the code for what the buttons actually do. You can see we have an add 3 action here, and a subtract 3 action here, and we want the add 3 action to take whatever's in this window or in this text box and then add 3 to it. So we're going to write it so that it's text box 1, and then we're going to use the action that's built into text box called set int value, which it'll take whatever you pass to that, turn it into an int value, or well, it probably needs an int value to begin with. You send it an int value and it'll stick it in here, basically. So we're going to text box int value, and what this second one does here, this asks text box 1 what its value is in an integer, and it'll grab that for us. And we're going to just add 3 to that and close that off, and then we can just copy and paste this into the subtract one and just change that to subtract. And now if we run it, hopefully it will build and work. And save all. Compiling. Still compiling. There. Oh, that's not it. Oh, I didn't save this, that's why. Okay, now that that's saved, now we will build and go. Okay, here it is. We can add 3, and we can subtract 3. So, remember to save your interface file before you run it, or it will be rather confusing why it's not running. So, that's pretty much it for the coding. Now, if you want to know more of what's built into the text box, which is text box is the name of an object class called NSTextFieldCell, which is what this actually is. And if you want to find out what else it can do without you having to write code, you just go into Xcode's documentation and search for NSTextFieldCell. And look it up. It's actually something else. I guess it is a text field cell. And there's a bunch of other stuff it can do down here. So, that's a cell. There's also NSTextField, which is what that should have been. But, yeah, I don't really know why it was that. Oh, there we go. I was clicked on the inside. That's why it was that. It's really an NSTextField object. The thing inside of it is an NSTextField cell. So we want the actual object itself. So if you go in here and search for NSTextField, it'll bring this up, and you can see what else it does. Like you can set the text color, you can get the text color if you want, and where our set int value actually comes from. It inherits it from NSControl. You scroll down and here we go. You click on that, and it'll tell you what set int value can do, and also this is the int value that returns what it is. So that's pretty much it. Enjoy your ridiculously basic calculator.